Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today is actually a very long video because we did a lot today. And so we're going to get into this polygel kit that Rosalind has sent to me for PR. And if you have watched my previous hauls or other videos, I absolutely love their polygel. It is one of my favorite things to use. And I'm trying to do my voiceover and my little one just like bursted in my bedroom. So just wait 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. But as you can see, this is a very large box. It was so big I could not even leave my phone in the stand that I have and move it up or anything like that because it was so big. So I'm actually really obsessed with this paper. Like it's almost like a honeycomb. Like it's just really cool. And I thought that was, I don't know, I just thought it was really fun. So I actually really enjoyed that. And then we're going to go ahead and get into some of the other items. And after I show you the packages and the packaging, then we'll get in, like, I'll open everything up and all that good stuff. So that's another reason why the video is a little bit longer today, is because I have just a lot to do. So yeah, this is the actual nail lamp. So I wanted to try like a full-blown actual kit that comes with a lamp. Like, yes, I have one, but this would honestly make a great backup. And then you can see the polygel is in another bag. So there are 20 polygels. And then there's this little bag of goodies that are like, there's a lot of goodies in this kit. So if you ask me if it's worth it, I would definitely say yes. There is everything in this kit that you would need as a beginner. And like I mentioned, I really enjoy Rosalind's polygel, and we'll get into the consistency and different things like that here a little later. But first you get these really gorgeous 12 glitters, 12 pack of glitters. It was my intention to try to use as many things as possible in my set today, but I did get a little carried away. And I'll show you the actual things that I used in my set today. Yeah, I just went over the top, and like I always do. But I managed to use a lot of the polygels, or as many polygels as I could. So there are some really cute stickers. So I really like these black and white ones. And of course, how can you go wrong with butterflies? And I thought those little flamingos were super cute and really nice. Like for a cute little beach theme. And then there are these holographic liners. There's quite a few in here, and they're like the laser ones. I thought those were really neat. And I hardly ever use striping tape. I called them liners, but I hardly ever use striping tape in my sets, and I should, but I didn't. And then there is, excuse me, oh my gosh, I cannot even speak today. These really cute, like these actually look like toenail clippers. They're really big, but they aren't harsh, if that makes sense. Like they cut my nail really nice and trimmed it up very nicely. So those were nice and easy to use, functional. And of course, like I feel like these are just kind of like standard rhinestones that come in kits. So of course, I actually really like that they included these nail forms. They did include dual forms as well, which you'll see here in a moment. But they also included, of course, the polygel brush. It's got the paddle on one end and the brush on the other. And I actually really like the shape of the brush. But we'll get into the functionality a little bit later. And then, yeah, like these are the little clips that you use with the dual forms. Now, I do not use dual forms, and I do not like them at all, like ever. And every time I try, I'm just really unsuccessful at using them. I mean, I wouldn't say they're even beginner friendly, but they always come included in almost every single polygel kit. So if you like dual forms, they are included, and I actually really like the curve of those ones. And then the little clips, though, I keep the little clips. But then you also got like quite a few of these little nail cleanser wipes, so you can wipe the tacky layer off your nail. And I forgot about these, so I did not use these, but I have lint-free wipes and alcohol work just as great. You get your little nail brush, which I thought was really cool. And then these tweezers, of course, because they included the rhinestone. So I thought that was really nice of them to include the tool to try to apply them with. And then also this nice cuticle pusher that was given to Walter, I gave that to him because, yeah, I'm not going to use it. And then I also got a buffer and a nail file, and I do use this in today's video. That is another reason why this video is so long today, because I wanted to include a lot of things more in real time, and I also included how I shape my nails, and you will see what shape they are here in a moment if you didn't already notice by the thumbnail, because I love me a good, long, nice, pointy, sexy stiletto. Like, I just love them so much. And so, yeah, they did send me, I was just testing the smell factor on their slip solution. I don't know why I did that, because I already have some and I know that it doesn't smell at all. It's more of like an oily consistency. They also included this really cute little cuticle oil. It just smells like your normal, like, rose oil, cuticle oil. And then, of course, they included the base coat and the top coat, and you'll see how both of these things work when I swatch the Polygel. So I do include one swatch today of these Polygels. Now, again, these are, it doesn't have the size of bottles that they are, but they are minis. So I would say they're probably more along the lines of like 5 or 7 ml. They're not like the big 15 ml, 30, 60, anything like that. Even though I already own a lot of their 60 ml Polygels, this kit offered so many different nude colors, and I just like literally could not resist, and they are gorgeous colors for fall. So you're going to see that here as well when I demonstrate my nail set. But this kit literally came with everything you would need to do your nails as a beginner. It doesn't have dehydrator and primer, but you could even use those nail cleansing wipes for that purpose as well. Like after you buff your natural nail, you know, you could use like the nail cleansing wipe to get it off and everything else. And here I'm just showing you kind of what it looks like inside of the tube. And as I was pulling this thing off, it actually got stuck to my finger, so I just left it there. It wasn't hard to peel off. They were actually really easy to peel off, so I was thankful for that, because sometimes those little silver covers or whatever that you pull off are really, really hard to get off of the plastic. So I was thankful that was easy. And then here I'm just showing you, like, it's very easy to squeeze their Polygel. Some people might consider their Polygel more soft, but I think it's the perfect consistency. So I did go ahead and line them all up to get them ready for swatches, which we're going to get into. But before that, let's go over some details about the lamp. So maximum wattage for this lamp is 48 watts. And I love, love, love the fact that it has a metal bottom. Metal bottom nail lamps are my favorite, because I feel like you just get the most, like the light is able to reflect off the bottom of the plate and cure your nails better. And also, since I make press-ons, I prefer the metal plate on the bottom so that my press-on stands stick to the plate. You can see inside the lamp that they just have the standard normal UV LED lights in there. It is a UV LED lamp, and also it has the little thing on the bottom where you can line those holes up. And this was very sturdy. It did not move. I even did the lift test where I picked it up by the top of the lamp only, and the bottom did not fall off. So the magnets are pretty strong, and it's just such a cute little lamp. It's a little smaller than the lamp that I currently use, but I was okay with that. Like, it fits nicely on your desk. It looks nice on your desk aesthetically. It's white. Like, how can you go wrong with that? The background of my desk is white. And then the little AC adapter just plugs in the back. It's not rechargeable, so you will have to plug it in. But that's fine, because my current lamp does that as well. And I actually didn't even have to use the cord that came with the kit, because I already had the same plug-in on the back of my lamp that I use now. You can see that it is auto sensor, and as you go through and you choose the time that you want or the duration, you can see the little blue light that changes. And this is how I realized you could do 24 to 48 watts. Now, I do have a little bit of help coming in. So baby Cheeto stuck her little hand in there. I was like, that was perfect timing so I could show you guys the intensity of the light. So in case you have someone who is more sensitive or has a lot of heat spikes, you could turn the wattage down and you'll just have to cure your product for a little bit longer. But yeah, so this was the 5 seconds, and then it turned off properly like it should have. And the only thing is that it doesn't have like the digital numbers on top that I like, but that's not anything against the way that the lamp works. That's just a personal preference. I like to see the countdown and how many seconds that I have left to keep my hand in the lamp. But overall, it got the job done. And as long as you're patient, then you're fine. I used this lamp for every single swatch that I did, and it worked great. Like everything cured 100% and completely. So yeah. So now I am also using their slip solution, and I will say it was really hard to do. It was hard to use because on swatch sticks, you can't really use the amount of pressure that you need in order to pat the polygel down. You just have to be very, how do you want to say it? Like, you have to be very gentle on swatch sticks, right? Because like my swatch sticks personally just like literally snap in half. Now, some people don't prefer to do swatches because they don't want to waste any product, but I literally have so much polygel in my life right now that I'm okay with it. So I put on some base coat, and I took a lint-free wipe and some alcohol and just wiped underneath the swatch stick so that way I don't have any base cure like cure to the bottom of my lamp. That's probably one of the most annoying things to me is when I'm doing swatches and the product is underneath the swatch stick and I don't realize it, and then it cures to the metal plate. I do not like that. I'm a very aesthetic person, and I try to keep everything looking very, very nice. And so, yeah, you'll see me wipe things off a lot. But I just wanted to show you how this polygel works and kind of how I pat it around. I do use a patting and pressing motion more so than a pulling motion to begin with. And also I normally swatch underneath my swatch sticks. So I'll put base coat underneath, and then I cure it upside down. But I tried the first like 5 or 6 colors on top of the nail, and I wasn't very happy with it. So yeah, I was like, I could not get the polygel to smooth out. I couldn't push down hard enough. I tried using my other favorite brush that I use for polygel. I was all over the place, and they were looking really bumpy and gnarly, and I just like everything to look nice and clean and neat. So yeah, I did eventually go back to swatching under the swatch stick, and I don't show that, but the next thing I'm going to show you is actually the clear polygel. It was okay. This is what it's looking like with top coat on. So you can see that their top coat is really nice and very shiny. It's a little on the thick side, but I really like their top coat as well. But yeah, so even without top coat, the polygel was still pretty clear. And then I was like, well, maybe it will get a little more clear when I put top coat on. Cause you could see like in the middle, it's a little foggy. However, I just used that white color before I did the clear. I should have done the clear first. So a little bit of it transferred, like, like the little, I don't know what you want to call it, the leftover part, even after you wipe your brush, it kind of has like that milky layer on it. So yeah, that was kind of my fault. But here are what the first 10 swatches are looking like, and then the second 10 swatches. I really like the second 10. And most of the colors that I use today are from this part of the swatch. So yeah. Whew, that was a lot to go through. So now I'm just showing you other things that I'm going to be using in my set that did not come in the kit that I just have in general in my stash. But for the most part, I do use, like I mentioned, the polygel, the brush, things like that. And then I actually switched to using 91% alcohol to do my polygel application. And here I'm just showing you on the thumb, the tip was hanging over just a little bit. I actually got these tips from Amazon and I really love them. I just haven't tried them yet. So I thought this would be the perfect opportunity. Now I know I did stiletto nails in my last video, which is, I'm sorry. But I don't know, like I can't get away from, like I already had this plan in my head to go on a stiletto shape, so we're doing it again. But I really enjoy coffin shape and stiletto. I was going to do this coffin, but I was like, I gotta go with stiletto. Like, it's just gotta look that way. I promised Rosalind that I would do a set that was picture worthy and actually get pictures this time. And the last time I felt like I did my PR review and I was just really rushed and hurried through it, and I should have just taken my time and thoroughly reviewed that polygel. So this time I wanted to kind of more or less make it up to them because they sent me this huge kit, and I just thought, like, why would I like want to waste my time, you know what I'm saying, like, or their time, and do like a thorough review. So thank you again to Rosalind for sending me this awesome kit. Like I said, there's just so many colors, and everything you need to start your polygel journey is literally in this one kit. So $35.99, I believe, was the last listing price when I saw it on Amazon. And I think that's worth it. Like, if you're just getting started, you get all of these colors and you get all these things that come with it. The only thing it didn't include was a dappen dish, but if you're using 90% alcohol or even their slip solution, it doesn't really matter. You can like literally use anything. If you have a shot glass at home, you could use that as your dappen dish. Like, so yeah. So, this is color number 22. And so what I was trying to do was a gradient. I was like, I have all of these nudes and I haven't done any gradient nails like I wanted to. So let's do it with these polygels, right? And so the colors are going to get darker as I go through my fingers. And I decided to show you guys a couple of different methods and how I apply polygel. So these nails are longer. So I was like, let's show you like the 2-bead method. Sometimes if my nails are super long, I do not start in the cuticle area, but for the most part, I put a big blob in my cuticle, and then I, drag the polygel down, like drag the tube down my nail and put a little line down the middle, and then I start in with my cuticle right away. Oh, excuse me, but since these nails were longer, sometimes I do them in 2 beads because it's really hard to build up an apex. Like, it's almost like trying the 1 bead method for acrylic. It's still hard to do with polygel, and I actually still had to go in with a 3rd layer. So just to build it up a little bit more, because on my ring finger, I also wanted to encapsulate flowers, right? So I was like, I really want to use these flowers. I just think they're gorgeous, and they were just screaming fall, and I don't want to skip fall. It's my favorite season, and it's still actually really warm outside. I am like, we are doing fall nails. We are doing fall, probably until the end of September, and then beginning in October, I'll start getting more into Halloween nails. But yeah, but these polygels are just so easy to work with, and they look grainy. Yes, they are grainy. That is fine. I'm here for grainy polygel because once you start working with it, it's not grainy anymore. From the experience that I've had with Rosalind and other brands, it will soften up and it will spread out, and it's not going to continue to be or look grainy as you use it. And actually, those are the ones that I find the easiest to use or work with because of the consistency. You can see the consistency here is really nice. I'm only using very light pressure, and it is just going like, it's just so smooth. It's just going on and applying so nicely. So yeah, and I always try to make sure like I don't get any polygel underneath the nail. I like underneath the nail to look clean. I try to make sure that I keep it in a shape to where I don't have to file a lot. The end of this one was looking very bulky and a little more like alligator-esque. And so yeah, I ended up filing them, but from here, I'm just going to let you watch a little bit of the polygel application, and then I will be back when we get to encapsulating the ring finger.
In my bed, reinforce my walls with all these hypotheticals. When it comes to you, no one really compares, but I'm scared and I'm nervous. I don't want to get hurt anymore. I don't want nobody else. You know that you're fine as hell. I got ahead of myself, finishing races and never begin. I don't want nobody else. You know that you're fine as hell. much better. You deserve much better, and I deserve a chance at new love. I don't want nobody else. You know that you're fine as hell. I got ahead of myself, finishing races I'll never begin now. I don't want nobody else. You know that you're fine as hell. I get ahead of myself, keep on telling myself, don't rush, crush, don't worry about it, don't need to figure it out. Don't rush, it's a little crunch, just let go. Don't need to figure it out. Don't rush, a little crunch, need to worry about it, don't need to figure it out. Don't rush, a little crunch, just let go. Don't need to figure it
So now I'm back, and I hope that part was satisfying for some, because that is one of my favorite things to watch when I'm watching other people's videos are the application, whether it's acrylic, polygel, gel, hard gel, whatever. Always so satisfying to me. But now I'm going in with one of these like bigger colors or flowers, and I wish that I would have put it up closer to my apex area, just maybe up about a couple more centimeters, because I had to make the clear polygel like really bulky that I put over it. And it was hard to like center my apex without filing through the flowers and that part. So yeah, other than that, I really, really enjoyed the way that this nail came out. Like, it is really cute. There was no rhyme or reason or way that I put the flowers or anything like that. But after I do have them all placed, I do go ahead and cure the polygel. And in between, I just also wanted to mention that in between each bead or application that I do, I cure for 60 seconds and then go in with the second bead and so on and so forth. You can add more polygel on top of your uncured polygel if you're comfortable doing that, but I find it actually very hard to blend, and it just doesn't work for me. So you're going to see that this clear polygel was looking like a really, really big mess, but you can see that as it sits there, the longer that it sits there, the more clear that it gets. And also, I do not use alcohol to this time. I followed my rule and I use base coat as the slip solution. So if you don't have alcohol or your polygel kit doesn't come with slip solution, as long as it comes with base coat, which they usually do, then you can use the base coat as slip. So you literally just, you see me clean my brush off initially in the alcohol before I put it on the base coat, but then you'll just see me wipe my brush and keep going back in. And if you have to, you can apply a little bit more base coat in areas where you feel like the polygel is getting sticky. But that is usually how I apply my clear, is I use base coat as my slip. So that way it stays clear, and it looks really nice when it cures. For the pinky, I was going to do color number 27. This is actually a really gorgeous burgundy color, and that is one of my favorite shades of red, but I could not do it. I was like, it's too dark, right? It just wasn't going with the rest of the nude vibe. So I just took the color number 25 that I used under the flowers and put that on, and I used color number 13 on my thumb. And I did that off camera because at this point it was just getting really repetitive, the polygel application. But now I'm going to go in and I'm actually going to show you how I file. So I'm just wiping my nails with a lint-free wipe and alcohol, so that way I can, it's not sticky anymore. Otherwise it will gum up your file and it will gum up your drill bit, whatever you're using. And so yeah, you'll just see me wipe and wipe and wipe away because I don't want it sticky under the nail or on top of the nail. So yeah. And I do, like I mentioned, show you my filing process on my thumbnail. And the reason why I'm showing you that is because I never leave that in any of my videos. But it is satisfying for the most part. And I actually have the moment or the time or the space to show you exactly how I file. So I use both my e-file and my hand file. If you don't have a hand file, you can do it all with, or sorry, if you don't have an e-file, you can do it all with a hand file. And which is another reason why I love Polygel so much, is because it is so easy to file with a hand file. Like, you just can't go wrong with it. So here I'm just scoring my file that I got in my kit on another file, so that way my edges are not sharp and I'm not cutting my skin. We all know what that's like, or maybe you don't, but where you go to the nail salon or you're doing your own nails and you keep filing, and sometimes you don't even realize that you are cut, or it's the other way around and it hurts so bad, like, you notice right away that, you know, you've been cut with the file. And oh gosh, that's one of the most annoying things. So I just scored all the edges, and then here I'm just kind of showing you how their buffer is also pretty thorough as well. Like, I really enjoyed their buffer. So I turn my, now normally I would never ever ever put my drill on 7,000 RPMs on my natural nail. I would never do that, but since I have product around my cuticle now, then I use about 7,000. And this is just a fine grit 5-in-1 Pana drill bit. I love 5-in-1 bits. They're just so amazing, like literally for everything. They get a little bit more coarse as you go up the drill bit, but they're just like the perfect cone shape and angle to help you really smooth out that cuticle. So it's just my preference to use this drill bit around my cuticles. You can see I did not use it a lot at all, and then I go in and I literally do everything else with the hand file. So that's why I'm saying it's really important to score that. So if you don't have an e-file or drill bits and things like that, then you can go ahead and buff around, like you can go ahead and still use your hand file without cutting up your cuticles. So yeah, very important step. But now, yeah, like I mentioned, I'm just going to, so I'm holding my nails the way that I am because I use peel off base coat. 3 of my nails actually popped off in the process. My pinky popped off twice, once when I was trying to remove the other polygel color, and the second time was when I was trying to file it. So I'm really glad that I chose my thumb as an option to show you guys so that my nails weren't popping off. I did glue them back on, and then I had a really hard time getting those nails off later when I wanted to take them off. So yeah, anyway. But that's the other thing about this is, like, if I ever wanted to wear these nails again, I could just take nail glue and pop them on just like a regular press-on set. So yeah, I wanted these, and also in the the previous video that I did for Born Pretty, I was like, I just didn't feel like my stiletto was stilettoing enough for me. So I wanted to get these like really crisp and really clean, and like I said, like picture worthy. So here I'm just showing you, like, you could see like those little shiny parts on the nail still, and that means that my file has not touched those, which is fine. You might not always need to file every last little bit of your nail depending on how you did your application. But for me, that tells me that I had little valleys in that area, right? And all the rest of the polygel was higher than that. And so I was like, I know that I need to file the rest of the nail down to meet that. Otherwise, it's going to be bumpy still. And so, yeah, like this is, I always do this check right here. It looks like a bird. It reminds me of a turkey so much right now, but, oh God, guys, I love Thanksgiving. I always cook like a really huge meal, and I'm just so excited for it. But I could see on that right-hand side that it's still a little too high. And so I'm just trying to balance that out. This other thing I love about using a hand file, not only is polygel easy to file with a hand file, but it also is, you could control how much you're filing with the hand file versus an e-file where it's really easy to overfile. So yeah, like this just ended up turning out really cute. And with a longer nail, I do tend to make sure, or try to make sure, that I'm filing the sides just the same. But yeah, this is, here I'm showing you how flat the nail is, and I still got a little ways to go. I'm trying to basically make sure that it's straight, unlike this index finger where you can see that little dip. I don't want a little dip in my nail at all. I want it to be completely round, and I want it to be completely straight. So yeah, I just keep going and going until I have my desired shape. But that's why I'd also have maybe a little bit, or prefer to have a little more product on my nail rather than having not enough and then having to overcompensate and file too much in one area and not enough in another. So yeah, I just thought these were really cute. And I also, like I mentioned, I needed everything to match that encapsulated flower. So I did have to add a little bit more to the apex on some of the nails, but this is looking very nice, and I am very happy with the way that this is looking now. Everything looks very well balanced. There's my cute little turkey again. He's just hanging out there. It looks like a bird's beak. I think it's so cute. So here is everything shaped and filed, and I don't even know what to say anymore because I am very proud of myself in the way that I shaped these. Like, they just turned out so cute. So yes, my index finger is a little crooked, and that is because I glued it on that way on accident. I did not mean to glue it on crooked. But I also took my e-file when I was done shaping up everything and just took one little more swipe around my cuticle area just to get it all very flush, because I use peel off base coat, and once I hit that peel off base coat with the file, it is not very flush at all. Well, it's flush, but it starts to look like it's chipped around the cuticle, and I just really don't like that at all. But of course, these just aren't practical for me to wear every single day, or I would. And yeah. But again, lint-free wipe and alcohol, wiped it off, and here I'm just fanning it off to make sure that they are completely dry. Because after I filed and got them all wiped down, I did buff in between this step as well. So that way you can't see the file marks in the top coat, or through the top coat. Anyway, so yeah, and again, that Rosalind buffer worked really, really good, but I'm going in with my tried and true. I freaking love this rhinestone glue. Everything that I use is linked down below in the description box, like my frequently used items. I could not live without this. And more recently, the Makartt pen, like the rhinestone glue pen. Yeah, like top fave. But and of course I didn't get rhinestone glue in my kit. I could have used top coat, but I wanted these things to stay on. I know, like, my family calls me Cardi B, but to be really honest, I'm feeling like Zule when I did this set right now. I was like, wow, like, I was just blown away by how I did this bling placement, but you can see I have my little torch light out because I don't want this gem to slip all over the place. And then what happened was I put too much glue down initially. I like it to remain flat because I still wanted to put other gems on top of it. So I didn't want it to cure bumpy or bulky because I still wanted to do other things and I need those other gems to fit around this larger stone. So yeah, I like to make sure that everything is even, which is what this gel glue pen is like perfect for. I love the thin brush in this thing. And so I decided to go completely around this large stone and also down the middle of my nail. I almost had a meltdown and I literally almost called Nellie, but I'm sure she was busy. But I got it figured out. And I really love the shape of this other, like, I went with the champagne colored stones around it because, I don't know, I have just been dying to use this rhinestone or for like ever. And what would these bigger rhinestones look like? And to be honest, the length of the nail was perfect with the shape of this rhinestone, and the rhinestone was very complementary to like the encapsulated flower nail and everything like that. So I just really, really enjoyed it. And then I was just going to do like 3 stones down the middle, and then I decided to keep going, but and then I was like, okay, I'm only going to do 3 stones, you know, we'll do with everything in 3s and keep it behind like the larger stone. And yeah, I just kept going. I just kept going and going and going. So, yeah. So we are nearing the end of the video though. So of course I want to thank everyone for being the best part of my channel. I did take these outside and shoot a video because oh my gosh. Oh, they were just so gorgeous. And then I just did, I wouldn't say simple, but I did some cuticle rhinestones, and then I also glammed up the thumb as well. So yeah, I had so much fun doing this. And like I mentioned, the shape, this one, my index finger, my ring finger, and my pinky finger all popped off while I was trying to file them. So I had to turn around and glue them on. And yeah, I ended up looking at my press-on kits and how to remove your press-ons and soaking them in warm soapy water for 15 minutes. And that did work. But I've been including this like Beetles nail glue in my press-on kits lately, and it is amazing. So I think that's going to be my next video where I show you guys how I apply my own press-ons that I have created and see how long they last, because I think it's important to do like a QC check on your own products, right? Because you're selling them. So, yeah, I just did a whole bunch of fall inventory for press-ons. I still have to get that posted. I just have a lot going on right now. And plus my normal 40-hour-a-week job that I work that helps support this crazy obsession that I have with nails, and my family, of course. So yeah, I don't know. But at the end of the day, these polygels were gorgeous. You could tell they're definitely gradient. I felt like it was a really good way to incorporate all of everything that I used, and or as much as I could from the polygel kit. And yeah, I just really love the way that they turned out. So again, thank you all so much for being the best part of my channel, and thank you so much to Rosalind for sending me this entire polygel kit. It's absolutely gorgeous and perfect for fall, and if you're a beginner, I would definitely recommend this polygel kit. Everything about it is awesome, and I just really love the consistency of their polygel, and you'll definitely see me use it later on my channel. So yeah, but again, thank you all so much, and I will see you in my next video.
When it comes to you, no one really compares. But I'm scared and I'm nervous. I don't wanna get hurt anymore. I don't want nobody else. You know that you're fine as hell. I get ahead of myself. Finishing races and never beginning up. I don't want nobody else. You know that you're fine as hell. I get ahead of myself. Keep on telling myself, don't rush. It's a little crush. Don't need to worry about it. Don't need to figure it out. Don't rush, it's a little crush, just let go. Don't need to figure it out. Don't rush, a little crush, don't worry about it. Don't need to figure it out. Don't rush, a little crush, just let go. Don't need to figure it out. Making time, not taking it to clear my